What's up guys and welcome to the channel. So my last video was the G-Wolves Hati review and I got a bunch of questions about the mouse. I didn't really have that many comparisons in this review, so I wanted to do a whole video about it. The most similar mice to the Hati S are the Finalmouse Ultralight 2 and the Cooler Master MM711. So naturally we are gonna compare the G-Wolves Hati S to those two mice. By the way guys, if you end up liking the video, remember to hit that like button, and if you enjoy gaming gear reviews, hit that sub button. That would really help me grow my small channel out and all the support is very much appreciated. Anyway guys, let's go check out how the G-Wolves Hati S stacks up against the likes of Cooler Master MM711 and the Finalmouse Ultralight 2. So how is the packaging? Well, the Cooler Master MM711 only comes with extra mouse gates, and I'm fine with that. The Hati S then again comes with a lot of stuff. There is 2 cables, there is mouse grips, mouse gates, mouse switches and a brush. And the Ultralight 2 only comes with those infinity skins. Let's check out the measurements for each of these mice. So lengthwise, the MM711 and the Ultralight 2 are actually the largest. When I'm considering the hand feeling, it does not quite equate to these numbers. The Hati S is the highest one, and then comes the MM711. The Ultralight 2 feels significantly lower profile than each of these two mice. The MM711 is definitely the widest, and you can feel that. Then comes the Hati S, and the last one is the Ultralight 2, and that definitely feels the thinnest. But how do these actually feel in hand? By the way, my hands are 19 cm long and 10 cm wide. Well, by far the smallest one is the Ultralight 2. I can't really claw grip that easily, and it does not feel actually at all comfortable when I'm clawing the mouse. Fingertip grip feels quite fine, but it's still a little bit too thin in my opinion. The length and the height feels pretty good for fingertip grip here. But going back to claw grip, which is my favorite grip style, I think it's just a little bit too low profile. It gets very uncomfortable when I'm clawing this for longer periods of time. There is only a tiny bit of my palm touching the mouse and I would like a little bit more palm support. If it was just a little bit more high, I think it would be alright for my hand size. Moving on to the Hati S, you can pretty much instantly feel that this is a higher profile mouse and it feels very comfortable clawing this mouse. It's comfortable even for longer periods of time. Fingertip grip feels also very good with this mouse. I would say that it's a little bit more comfortable than the Ultralight 2. Looking at my claw grip with this mouse, the higher hump makes it definitely more comfortable for me, as there is more palm support. I can also have my hand a little bit more relaxed when I'm gripping the mouse. It feels like there is enough room for all my fingers, and there are not many complaints I have with the Hati S. I think it could be a little bit more optimized for claw if the hump was a little bit more towards the back of the mouse. But for a small mouse, this shape is very good for different hand sizes and grip styles. Just don't buy this mouse for palm grip. Then the last one is the MM711, and I have to say that it feels quite similar to the Hati S. Even though the Hati S is the highest regarding the measurements, I think this one feels the highest. That is because this mouse has the most pronounced hump and it's towards the back of the mouse. It's also the shortest one, but that's the same reason that it doesn't feel the shortest. There is a good amount of palm support and this shape is very good for claw grip. So I think the Hati S might just win the shape category here, but I have to say that it's very close with the MM711. The Ultralight 2 has the worst shape out of all these mice. I think the Hati S is pretty much what the Ultralight 2 should have been. All the cables on these mice are paracord-like cables, but the stiffness is quite different. The Ultralight 2 cable is quite stiff, and it's not that good to use without a bungee. The Hati S has a micro USB cable and is quite good. It's flexible and it doesn't keep its shape that easily. In my opinion, the MM711 cable is one of the best stock cables available. It's very flexible, it doesn't keep its shape, it's all around a very good cable. But I love the fact that the Hati S comes with 2 cables and they are micro USB. I can have the other cable plugged into my work PC and the other one to my home PC, and I can switch them around as I please, and that's why the Hati S gets the first place in the cable category. The MM711 cable is the second. It's the most flexible out of the bunch, but the first place still goes to the Hati S. And Ultralight 2 goes to the last place again. Moving on to the buttons. The Ultralight 2 has one of the best buttons I've ever tried. They are very tactile and crispy, but still easy to actuate. The side buttons are well placed and they feel crispy to me. Very good for gaming and general use. I even like the scroll wheel. Let's listen to these clicks. The clicks on the Hati S are quite inconsistent. The left click is very tactile and crispy and it's easy to actuate, but the right click feels mushy, and it feels mushier when you click it from the front edge of the mouse. Side buttons on the Hati S are superb. They are crispy and they are well placed. The scroll feel feels good, it has defined steps and it's pretty easy even to press down the button. The MM711 clicks are also inconsistent. Where you press the button changes the click feeling quite a lot. The clicks are still tactile and easy to actuate, and they feel good when you click them from the front edge of the mouse. They all have a little bit of post travel, but nothing that I would really notice in game easily. The pre-travel is pretty much non-existent. All in all, there are no real issues with these clicks. They all feel quite amazing. So in the end, the Ultralight 2 has the best buttons, and it's a draw for the MM711 and the Hati S. I think the Ultralight 2 is a clear winner here in the button section. Comparing the mouse feet, the Ultralight 2 has 4 small feet, and these are not good. The Hati S then again has 2 small feet at the front and 1 large at the bottom. These feet are actually quite solid, they are a lot better than the G-Wolves feet used to be. And then the MM711 has 1 large feet at the front and 2 small at the back. These feet are also very good for stock feet. I think this is a draw for the MM711 and the Hati S. But the Ultralight 2 is a clear loser here. I think you should definitely get aftermarket feet for the Ultralight 2, but it's not that simple for the Hati S and the MM711, although they do give more performance. So out of these mice, which would I go for? Well, I think it's pretty obvious that I would go for the Hati S or the MM711. The Ultralight 2 is just way too small for my hand size, and it's not that good for my grip style. If you have very small hands, then the Ultralight 2 might be the best match for you, but I think your hand should be at least under 9 cm wide in this case. The Ultralight 2 is a good fingertip grip mouse, but the Hati S is just better. As the Ultralight 2 is the worst in this bunch, let's get rid of that and focus on the 2 other mice. So who would I recommend the Hati S for? Well, the Hati S is great for fingertip and claw grip. It also suits multiple hand sizes. For example, my medium to large hands are very good with this mouse for fingertip and claw grip. The grips that you get with the Hati S are the best stock grips I've gotten. They feel nice and grippy. And remember that if you don't like the honeycomb design on the sides of your mouse, you can just stick these grips in it. The MM711 is exceptional for those with large hands. There is this one downside to the shape though. It's the right edge of the right mouse button. Because of that, there is a lot less space for your fingers on that side. But it's something that you can get used to. For the first 2 weeks it felt quite unusable, but after that I got used to it and all is well. It's also very good for those who have just medium-sized hands and like the pure claw grip kind of style. Pronounced thumb that is towards the back of the mouse is very good for claw grip. The shape is almost like a dream for those who like claw grip. So who wins here? I think overall the Hati S is an exceptional mouse. G-Wolves does seem to have some quality control issues, but it's still very hard not to recommend this for other people. But you might want to wait for example a month before you get it, because I think those issues are solved by then. The MM711 is super good for those who have large hands and don't mind this design on the right side. You can claw grip both of these mice just fine, so the shape is not a deciding factor here. Neither are the mouse feet, because they are pretty equal. Maybe the Hati S has slightly better mouse feet, but the difference is very tiny. But what it comes down to in my opinion is the cable, and I really love this micro USB cable. If you have 2 PCs you can have them both plugged in and just switch them when you want to use another PC. In the end the Hati S does take the first place. I think because of the design the Hati S is gonna be better for a higher percentage of people than the MM711. So the G-Wolves Hati S did end up getting the first place. But very close second is the Cooler Master MM711, and this mouse should not be slept on. At last place is the Ultralight 2, and for my grip style and hand size, that mouse is complete garbage. But thanks for watching, remember to click that like button, hit that sub button, and see you in the next one.